Well, guys, it's official. We've officially found the single worst YouTuber on this entire website. And you know, a few years ago, if you were to ask me who the worst YouTuber on all of YouTube was, I might have said something like Rice Gum, the Paul brothers, or maybe even J Station. There's definitely more, but they're kind of escaping me right now. But honestly, this new generation of internet douchebags really blows the last generation out of the water. You probably already know because everybody's been talking about him lately, but of course I'm talking about Jack Doherty. Now, I just discovered about a month ago who this kid was because, like, I mean, you know, I'm not 12 years old. But to give you guys a quick rundown, Jack Doherty is a prank YouTuber, maybe former prank YouTuber now, who's been making videos since he was around 13 years old. And it's very obvious that he's taken inspiration from people like the Paul brothers and Rice Gum, because even at a young age, even as young as like 15, he's been causing a lot of shit just for views and attention. And he's a little older now, he's around 20 years old, and has only gotten worse from there. Aside from having a really young audience, I think the main reason he flew under the radar for so long is nobody really wanted to talk about him too much or give him too much shit because he was a kid for a while. And it's just, now we're hitting the point where it's starting to look really bad that he hasn't grown up at all. If you go back and look at some of his original first few videos, you know, it started off pretty innocent and whatnot, so I'll give him credit there. But he quickly learned that being a douchebag online is a very fast way to make some money and get a lot of attention to your channel. Now, he streams on Kick now, which, if you don't know, is the streaming website with the most lax terms of conditions, and they don't really have any rules overall or community guidelines for the website apart from doing anything illegal. And over the past few months in particular, he's been really off the rails with the degenerate behavior. I think the biggest reason people can't stand him, though, is because he definitely has a really like arrogant and pompous kind of attitude.
We got out of there, motherfucker. Let's go.
Watch your language. There's kids around here.
I didn't say any curse words. What'd I say?
Just watch your language.
What'd I say?
You got a stupid shirt on over there.
Yeah. Your kids can't read, though.
What are you talking about?
Your kids can't read, can they?
I'm sure your kids watch.
Get away from me.
You started talking to me, buddy.
Get away from me.
You get away from me. Watch your kids. Go walk away.
Most of his content revolves around starting up shit with other people. It could be anybody, other YouTubers, other TikTokers, other random people that he encounters at the mall or anywhere he goes.
What? Little Prompt, what you gonna do? What you gonna do, Little Prompt? Yeah.
And his latest thing, which you just saw there, is he needs to have security with him everywhere he goes because he knows that he can't defend himself for shit. So if he's starting a bunch of shit with people and whatnot, you know, he needs someone there to back him up, which is just like so sad and pathetic on so many different levels. His content is so degenerate in the first place that he goes around doing shit to other people that would get anybody punched right on the spot. And he doesn't have the balls or integrity to stand on anything he does at all. So he needs a fucking caretaker to keep him safe. It's just like, I swear though, imagine being a douchebag everywhere you go, and then you need a fucking lackey to clean up your messes for you. It's literally cartoonish. I mean, this is something you would see in a fucking cartoon. And he uploads this crap with pride because it makes him money and makes him famous, and that's all he gives a shit about. Just a few months ago, he brought this security guard to a Halloween party and literally had him assault somebody for pretty much no reason because he was going around being a dick to everyone there.
Okay, you said what you said. You keep repeating. That's all I'm saying. So now, what's the next step?
Now, you want to suck my dick or what? Like, where we getting? Fuck, you're broke.
Damn.
Oh, fuck, you called me broke. No, I'm gonna cry myself to sleep tonight. Appreciate you. Don't care.
All right, then walk then. Go do your thing.
All right, ready? On the count of three.
Just saying, y'all saying you
just stop. Tell him stop. Tell him stop.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, no, yo, stop.
No, with you. Are you fucking crazy?
Hey, what's up?
These have been just some of his more recent antics. If you look them up, I'm sure you could find plenty more from over the years. But I think you get the gist of the type of individual we're dealing with after some of those quick things I just showed you. And it's incredibly clear that at this point, this kid's brain has just been rotted beyond repair when it comes to making content on the internet. He is the textbook poster child example of everything that's wrong with some of the worst on social media today. Jack Doherty is exactly what you get when you sell all of your soul, integrity, your values, morals, everything for views. And all of this stuff is making him money. You could see right here, he's posting his credit card statements on Twitter to flex on all of his younger fans. And that's the part of all this that I want to focus on the most, is that Jack Doherty has clearly been inspired by some of the douchebags of the past, i.e. Paul Brothers, Rice Gum, etc. And the problem here is that this is a cycle. You know, one person gets on the internet, does a lot of questionable things, and behaves like an arrogant douchebag, and then that inspires the next generation to come up doing the same thing, but bigger and more unhinged, more off the rails, because that's how YouTube works. Everyone just needs to push the envelope of absurdity until they eventually cross the line. And Jack is a product of that cycle, and he's now currently perpetuating it because he has a lot of young fans that do look up to him, and they see this kind of behavior and they think that it's acceptable. They think it's normal. There's plenty of young and impressionable kids watching Jack right now, and they can't wait to grow up and be just like him. And that's the problem right here that I'm getting at, because it's going to get worse from here. The way that the internet, YouTube, TikTok, all these platforms work is everything just gets pushed to its limits eventually. Because eventually Jack Doherty is gonna have to grow up, and he's probably gonna regret a lot of things from this phase in his life. And just as he's growing up and starting to move on from all this, someone else is going to come right up, take his place, and be even worse. So more importantly, if you have any younger family members in particular, and you see that they're fans of these type of streamers / YouTubers, I think it's important to I wouldn't say it, look, don't restrict anything that anyone's watching, anything like that. Don't tell people what to do, but it would be nice to go out of your way to explain what's wrong with looking up to certain people like this, because that's what I really care about. If Jack wants to make his money, do whatever he wants, all right, whatever, fine, all right, I get it, kind of. I mean, I wouldn't behave like this ever for any amount of money, but I understand why he's been roped into this. I get that he didn't start out this way, that it was more gradual over time. But like I've said, this is a cycle. Make sure anyone younger than you who you have in your life is aware of this. Because I've been saying this for a while now. We've talked about a lot of different clout chasers on this channel before. And eventually this whole clout chasing bubble is going to burst. Somebody is going to do something just way over the line one of these days. Though another reason I'm choosing to finally talk about Jack Doherty now as well is because recently he got humbled pretty bad. Recently he was starting up some more shit, and even with his security there, someone was able to land a really good clean shot on Jack recently, and it was pretty satisfying to watch him get punched. I mean, he probably has the most punchable face on YouTube.
Y'all gotta shake hands. Yeah, I mean, that's fine. We're cool. I'm good.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh!
Yo, what the fuck?
Pussy new shit. Pussy.
Yeah, he literally takes a couple licks and then just walks away to go cry. So it's a nice thing to see. I mean, don't get me wrong. I wouldn't want to actually see him get severely injured or anything like that. But he definitely has a lot of this coming to him. And one of these days, he's gonna come across somebody who is that extra unhinged and is willing to go an extra step over the line. So that's just a fair warning to him if he keeps this up. It's really not a matter of if, it's more of a matter of when someone decides to really put him in his place. And we probably haven't seen the last or the worst of Jack Doherty yet, but just to give you guys a hint of what's to come, this is what we're working with right now. Currently, I would say he's definitely the worst YouTuber on the platform these days, but who knows who will claim that title in the future. I would hope to see him turn some of this behavior around. I do like a good redemption story, but he's definitely far from whatever that might look like currently. And one final note to the people who will say things like, yeah, he's kind of a douchebag, but he makes money though, and he's set for life, I'm sure, but yada yada. Look, no amount of money is worth selling your soul to the content gods. Right now, as far as I've seen, he doesn't have any real friends in his life. He's only ever surrounded by leeches, which is gonna get pretty lonely at some point. And when he comes out of this phase, he's gonna be a little fucked in the head. And he's not gonna be able to be properly, satisfied or fulfilled with himself if he doesn't gain a little perspective first. And right now, he has no incentive to do that while he's getting rewarded for this kind of behavior. Because you can make money, but if you're a shitty individual that nobody wants to associate with or ever be around, I mean, what good is it for if you can't even just look at yourself in the mirror at the end of the night? Maybe I'm getting a little too deep into this right now. I don't know. Maybe I'm getting a little preachy, but all I'm saying is nothing's worth pushing away good people from your life, and you're not going to attract any good people acting like this.